Hi friends, today's recipe is a refreshing no-bake dessert, which is a milk jelly that is commonly called la mousse in Mauritius. For a little twist on the traditional recipe, I have added in some ripe jackfruit. Strawberries are optional in this recipe, but I think nothing announces summer like fresh, juicy berries. So the strawberries add in a seasonal touch and a pop of color in this dessert. You may also use other berries too. If you decide to use strawberries, remove the green leafy part and then slice them. Then line the ramekins with the sliced strawberries. Instead of ramekins, you may also use small mason jars. You can serve the dessert in the jars themselves, and with the lid on, they are convenient to transport if you want to bring this dessert to a potluck or summer party. If you can't find fresh, ripe jackfruit, you can use canned or frozen. If using canned, make sure you get ripe jackfruit in syrup and not the young jackfruit that comes in brine. Discard the syrup from the jackfruit and use only the fruit. Ripe jackfruit not only adds flavor, but it also acts as a natural sweetener. Tear the jackfruit into coarse pieces and add to a blender. Then add about half of the milk and process to a liquid. After that, you can just add in the rest of the milk and stir. I'm using homemade coconut milk, for which I have another video where I've demonstrated how to make it. Check the description for the link to the video. You may also use store-bought carton coconut milk or other non-dairy milk. I'm using Agar Agar in the form of strands as the jellying agent. You can find Agar Agar at most Asian stores and some health food stores. If you're using agar powder or flakes, check the printable recipe on our blog for the amount to use. So place the agar and 1 cup of water in a large saucepan and simmer on medium heat. Meanwhile, in a small cup, add the cornstarch and pour in about 1 cup of the blended jackfruit and milk mixture. Mix well and set aside. When the agar is completely dissolved, add the jackfruit and milk mixture to the saucepan. Then give the cornstarch mixture a stir first if it has deposited at the bottom, and add it to the saucepan. Stir immediately to avoid any lumps. Taste the mixture and add a sweetener of choice if required. Let the mixture simmer over medium-high heat while occasionally stirring gently when the mixture starts to heat up. Once the mixture reaches a rolling boil, remove from the heat and immediately pour into the ramekins or jars. Keep in an undisturbed place and allow to cool completely before transferring to the refrigerator. Chill for at least 6 hours or overnight. To demold, place the ramekins in a bowl of warm water for a few minutes. The jelly will loosen around the edges. Then turn it onto a serving plate. You can serve this dessert on its own or accompanied with fresh fruits or a few pieces of fresh jackfruit. For variations, you may replace the jackfruit with other fruits like mango, pear or melon in this recipe, but try to keep the amount of liquid the same, otherwise the jelly may not set properly unless you adjust the agar agar too, if you have some experience with it. You may also omit the fruit completely and add in some vanilla or almond extract for the plain traditional mousse. If you've enjoyed this recipe, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and as usual you can find a printable version on our website. You can find the link in the description. Also, if you try this recipe or any of our recipes, don't forget to take a little snapshot and tag us on social media at Veganlovlie. Cheers and stay tuned for more recipes.